what's up, family? So I'm back again with another one, another little tutorial to teach you guys just basically how you guys can expand your ministry. So I get a lot of questions about when they seen the MIDI and know it on the last video on my mixer. They're like, are you playing both boards at the same time, or how is it working? Or I see you only playing one board on your Instagram videos, but you using, like, how does it work? So I'm using what's called MIDI, M-I-D-I. It's called MIDI, and I'll put the word right there. I'm gonna kind of give you a quick explanation. MIDI is basically the communication between both boards. So I'm gonna explain how I use it here, and how I use it here is normally how I use it anywhere. You know what I'm trying to say? A little blooper, but you're never gonna keep it in there. But think of the Nord that's on top as my main board, meaning main keys, and my MOD-X being my aux, meaning auxiliary keys. If you don't know what that is, main keys is normally, some churches have a main keys player and a aux player. So the main keys player is playing the grand pianos and a little bit of strings and pads, while the aux player is playing the orchestra hits, synth leads, and all of the fancy bells and whistles and all of that, right? So on my Nord, I have white grand, right? So it's a little organ in there as well, but this is just the grand. So I'll use my organ engine. So while I'm playing praise and worship, if I'm not on organ, I have my organ in there as well. Right? So I have my organ pitched up an octave. So that way, because when you have an organ player, you're not going to be playing in the same octave anyway. So I have the organ pitched up an octave, so no matter where I'm at, you can hear that it's an organ plus piano. If I put them in the same octave, well, let me see. Oh, hold on, that's the wrong one. Here we go. There we go. So in the same octave, I octave it up. So they'd be in different octaves. So here I have strings. I'll show y'all the sounds later. Some musicians are gonna be like, why are you showing everybody the sounds? Ain't got nothing to hide. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to be great. So I'm just gonna pick a synth sound on down here so that way you can hear the distinct difference. I'm gonna turn this organ engine back down. So you hear that synth sound? Right? Grand? Right? On the back of your boards, you'll have something that's called MIDI in and MIDI out. M-I-D-I-N and M-I-D-I out. So you have to buy a MIDI cable that looks like this. All right? So what I do is, on this board, I have my sustain pedal and everything plugged into here. And then I MIDI out and then MIDI in to the top board. So MIDI out of the MOD-X and then MIDI in to the Nord. I got my MIDI cable plugged in, MIDI out to MIDI in, right? So if I play, you hear the piano and the MOD-X, right? So you may ask, well, how do you control the volume of what you're hearing, and how do you distinguish the differences or whatever? So boom, right? The volume on the MOD-X, which I told you guys in the beginning, this is the aux board. This is the main keys board, right? So if I want less synth on my master or on my part on the MOD-X, or if I have this up to control the master volume of all the sounds I use. So for example, if I turn, let's see, I put some strings in, a little pad. So let me turn the Nord down so you hear just the MOD-X. Right? So remember my last video, I showed you guys how I had everything set up through my mixer. Same way I have it set up through our main board, right? So if I want more piano, right, I turn my master on my Nord up. So, right, that MIDI cable is the communication between both boards, so I can go, right, got it? So while I'm in the service, I'll have, if I want organ, that's how you use MIDI, and that's how you communicate to boards. Like, share, send it to everybody. If you've got musicians that want to learn how to use MIDI, anything like that, send them to the video. And if y'all have any questions, like, comment, DM me. And you already know what it is, man.